in Europe was unrecognizable to the current situation. And then about 6 months or so before my arrival, as you know, the numbers swelled and everything changed. And you all know the tragic and expansive arc that followed. So 3 months before I was to arrive in Malta as a Fulbright student, Hungary erected the razor wire fence and secured their border. And 2 months before I arrived, 71 bodies were found suffocated, locked in a lorry in Austria. And 1 month before I was to board the plane, the heartbreakingly iconic image of the body of Ilan al-Kurdi washed up on the Turkish shore came to light. And suddenly it seemed as if the world awoke. They were recognizing a challenge of immense proportions, financial, moral, and human. And I was entering a Europe and a course of study far different than I had ever imagined. In fact, when I wrote my application, I proposed to study the Dublin Convention, which, as many of you probably know, is a convention that states that refugees must apply for asylum in the first country where they land. Then, not even 3 weeks after my arrival, Angela Merkel came out and publicly declared that Dublin was dead, that it was irrelevant and incapable of withstanding a crisis of the current magnitude. And meeting after meeting with practitioners and policymakers, they concurred that, at least in its current form, Dublin had become obsolete for new arrivals. And as I told the group this morning, on first instinct, that's the last thing you want to hear as a researcher, because all of a sudden this proposal you had spent a year preparing for is suddenly seemingly obsolete. But as a Fulbright student, it's actually a bit of a remarkable opportunity, because rather than being here at the end of something, I'm here at the start of something new, a turning point for a new and urgent European policy on migration. So I'm grateful not only for the foresight of the Fulbright Commission that a year ago perhaps anticipated this emerging crisis and saw value in my application, but I think it's even more emblematic of the Commission that I've been able to allow my research to evolve with the crisis and adapt to the current context. So the Fulbright Commission asked me to speak just briefly tonight about where my research is heading. I've had an absolutely incredible first month in Malta researching the situation there and the policy changes that have taken place after several emergency summits on the crisis. But in the spirit of innovation, I'm now working to analyze the development and implementation of the new hotspot approach, which was a term that didn't exist 6 months ago, let alone a year ago when I wrote the application. So stemming from this newly adopted quota system, the hotspot approach is a system of relocation centers that are being opened in border countries to register and disperse the new flows of arrivals. However, as an anthropologist by training, I can't sit back and only research this from the comfort of my armchair in Malta. I need to be on the ground. I need to be engaging with the states and entities that are responsible for implementing these policies, as well as the refugees whose lives and whose futures really are being impacted by its implementation. So next week I will move to Lesbos, where the first Greek hotspot should be, or is supposed to be, fully operational by the end of the month. And I'll be starting working there first in the harbors as a volunteer assisting boats as they land upon Europe's shores, and working my way up to the registration centers where I can really witness the implementation of this policy firsthand. And I hope to look at this from multiple user perspectives in the spirit of transatlantic cooperation to see how these best practices learned from the hotspots can not only be used to improve the European asylum policy, but as well as my own country, the United States, where we're facing many similar types of issues at our own borders. So in closing, there is so much yet to discover on this topic, but if there's one thing I've confirmed in my first month here, it's that these migration flows likely are not going to be stopping anytime soon. And in the meanwhile, Europe is challenged in its humanitarian responsibilities, and hundreds of thousands of people are standing in the cold and the rain without food, without shelter, and with little hope of opportunity. So the moment for comprehensive policy reform is upon us, and swift humanitarian action is needed. I look forward to sharing more of my future as I embark upon this journey, and if anyone is interested in learning more about my research or has subject matter knowledge, I'd welcome a conversation this evening. But all in all, I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity as a Fulbright Schumann Scholar. And I want to applaud, really, the Commission for its forward-thinking and innovative approach to tackling these cross-cutting transatlantic 21st century issues. Thank you.